This is the gearbox right here. It is the heart of the machine. There are 4 main shafts inside of it. You got your 4-to-1 right here, this shaft. You got your main 1-to-1, this shaft across right here. You got your 2-to-1, this shaft right here. And you got your 1-to-1 and the detector right up here. The 1-to-1's gonna flip once per cycle. 4-to-1's gonna flip 4 times per cycle. 2-to-1's gonna flip twice per cycle. Main 1-to-1 is once per cycle. And each thing that rides each shaft is designed to stop at each point in the cycle because the pin setter has to make a decision based on pin count and ball. All right, so this is our 4-to-1 right here. The main thing on it is our rake crank arm. It's gonna spin 4 times per cycle. On the second time in the cycle, the block is going to grab the hook and it's going to sweep the rake back. And let's see how that operates. Once, twice, you're gonna grab the hook, go back. 3, we release, and then we're back to 0. The other main thing that's important is going to be our clutch cam. It's gonna spin 4 times per cycle. All right, on our main 1-to-1, we got a rake lift cam right here. This is what lifts the rake back forward. And then we got our moving deck and scissor cam right here. That's controlled by the flag. It's moving deck or scissor cam. Can't operate the moving deck and the scissors at the same time, so the machine has to make a choice whether it needs to pick up the pins or set new ones. Moving deck sets new ones, scissors picks them up. And this flag determines which part of the cam we're gonna use. And then also inside of here, we have our cycle cam. It's a little harder to see. It's underneath this spring down. I know it's gonna be hard. There's also a spur gear, but it's inside this housing unit over here before we get to the heart of the gearbox. Here we're notifying that we need to use scissors. Scissors on this. Now it's going to use the moving deck instead of the scissors. The flag controls whether to use the moving deck or the scissors on this cam right there. The rake gets set back on the rake lift cam right here. The rake lift cam has 6 adjustable screws right here. On the 2-to-1, this right here is your deck lowering assembly with the eccentric on it. That is going to control your short stroke. And over here on your deck shaft, lowering shaft, is going to be the long stroke. So on standing pins, out of range, it's going to ride this one. On auto strike or strike, it's going to ride this one. That determines your long stroke or your short stroke, whether you need standing pins or a fresh deck. All right, so first ball on the 2-to-1. You're going to make it think that there's standing pins. You're going to take a short stroke. Now it's going to take a long stroke. To drop pins, it takes a long stroke. Right, that long stroke. Down it goes on the 2-to-1. And then inside of the detector, we have our detector 1-to-1. Right here, this is our detector gear. It's connected to the idler gear, which runs next to the spur gear on the 1-to-1. It activates this entire shaft. The 1-to-1 is ran by this gear right here. This right here is your rake sweep hook cam. And then we have our out of range selector cam right here. Next to that, we have our detector disc. On that detector disc is our detector rod, which tells us what the height of the pins are. According to the height of the pins, you'll either have standing pins out of range or no pins, you'll need a fresh deck. After your detector disc, you got your selector cam and you have your timing cam.